Jim Schultz here for Calculated Risk, and before we get rolling today, don't forget, the best ways you can help us are by subscribing to the channel, liking the video, or sharing the video with a friend. Each one of those guys helps us out a ton. So here is a very popular strategy in the marketplace that I absolutely think is a terrible, terrible idea. Selling the super low delta puts, like a 3 delta put. I mean, you look at it, it's super enticing. The buying power is amazing. It looks like it's never going to get touched. The probabilities are super high. And so you're looking at this like, man, I'm just going to sell this guy, pick up this credit, do it again tomorrow, and everything is easy peasy. I mean, even if you've been trading a while and you've never done one of these trades, you've probably looked at the option chain and you're like, man, there's no way that gets touched. Like, there is no way that thing gets hit. There is no way that I get hurt by selling that option. So is that true? Well, let's break it down. So first and foremost, the buying power and the probability on these 3 delta puts, let's just use this as our example. The buying power looks super favorable and the probability looks absolutely incredible, and that is the trap. Because if you look at a 3 delta put and you look at the probability of profit at 97%, right? Every single one of us is going to kind of round up to 100% for our mental records when it comes to that position. So is that an accurate reflection of the actual probabilities around that trade? No. Low probabilities, right, and super low deltas do not guarantee success. A 97% pop is not a 100% pop. A 95% pop is not a 100% pop. There's a reason why, when you look across the option chain, you don't see 0 deltas or 100 deltas. Because if you trade long enough, there is going to come a time when one of those 3 delta puts is going to go in the money. There is going to come a time when one of those 98% pop trades is going to finish in the money at expiration. So don't get lulled to sleep by these single delta options and think, oh man, that's just free money. That's just money in the bank. Nothing could go wrong. That is a very, very dangerous place to be when it comes to analyzing all the things that actually could go wrong. Because don't forget, when you put that trade on, that's all those metrics at that point in time. Right? That's the price, that's the expiration, that's the delta, that's the probability, that's the whatever at that point in time. But all of those things are not static, right? All of those things are not going to stay in that exact spot, right? Markets move and things change. Things are dynamic and they're fluid and they're going to change. And so that means that if the market starts going down, like if that strike starts to begin to get threatened just a tiny little bit, then all of a sudden everything is going to start to snowball against you all at once. Your delta is going to accelerate. Your buying power is going to balloon. Your gamma is going to tick up. Your Vega could potentially even accelerate. And the unrealized losses on the position can indeed compound. And what makes these situations especially sneaky is all of these things are kind of happening simultaneously. Like you're not having to battle just one. It's a handful of things and they're all working against you. So when you looked at the trade on entry and everything was calm and everything was quiet and it looked like nothing could possibly go wrong with that trade, you have to remember that is not a true reflection of all the different pathways forward through the forest that this trade could indeed take. And that's how traders get blindsided with trades like this, because a lot of times it's going to work. Like it is a 97% pop. It is a 3 delta option. Like a lot of the times you're going to grab that nickel before the steamroller gets you. That is indeed what you're signing up for. But you have to understand the times that it doesn't work and all of these things are moving against you at the same time, all of a sudden this position, you don't get hit by one thing. You don't get hit by 2 things, man. It mutates into something different entirely. And then you find yourself in a situation where you're like, man, I don't even know what happened. I don't even know how I got here. And here is what you need to understand about that process. Because a lot of traders will look at that and they'll say, yeah, Jim, but there's no way it goes in the money. It's 300 points in the S&Ps. It's, 900 points in the NASDAQ or 1,100 points in the NASDAQ, whatever it is. There's no way it goes in the money. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. But here's what's crazy. It doesn't need to go in the money for you to start feeling the pain. The strike doesn't even need to be tested for these things to start to work against you in a very, very significant way. The damage to your position and your P&L can often start happening long before the strike is even tested. Why? Because you have 3 primary things that are indeed going to be picking up steam as the market moves lower and gets closer and closer to that strike. Number 1, Volatility is almost always going to be increasing in this environment. When the market is going down, volatility is reliably going higher 97, 98, 99% of the time. Well, when you sell an option, you're short volatility. Like when I sell an option, I'm short Vega. I don't want volatility to go higher. I want volatility to go lower. So if volatility goes higher, what's that going to do? That's going to send the extrinsic value on the position higher, which is working against me, and it's working against my efforts to collect the premium that I picked up on entry for that low delta short put. Okay, number two, the short Vega itself will be accelerating. And so this is another Greek. This is a second derivative Greek that's called Vomma, and it measures how Vega itself changes as the market moves around. And Vomma tends to be highest for these single delta options. So if you sell a 3 delta put or a 5 delta put or a 4 delta put or whatever, those options tend to have very high Vommas. So what that means is if the market starts approaching that level, again, it doesn't have to get there, but if it starts moving in that direction, all of a sudden your sensitivity to volatility is picking up. So you're getting hurt by the actual volatility spike itself, but then each additional point that volatility does indeed increase hurts you even more because you're getting more and more sensitive to changes in volatility because your Vega is accelerating because your Vomma was super high on order entry. But then number three, you have something that I like to call the proximity effect. And this is essentially the relationship between the stock price and the strike price. As the stock price begins to approach the strike price, again, it doesn't have to get there, but if it moves in that direction, then the proximity effect becomes stronger and stronger. And a stronger proximity effect is going to lift the extrinsic value on the position. Again, this is working against you. This is not what you want to have happen. You sold the option. You want the price to go down. You want the extrinsic value to evaporate. It's not doing that. And because of a stronger proximity effect, that is working against your efforts as well. Okay, so what do we do? What's the fix? What's the big takeaway? Like, look, I get it. I understand, right? Those low delta options, they look like guaranteed winners. They look like free money. They look like selling options for income. They look like all that garbage. But it's not real. None of it's real. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to win. I'm not saying you can't be successful with that strategy. But what I am saying is the risk return, man, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like it just really doesn't make a lot of sense because so many things, a lot of them that are kind of hidden on order entry are stacked against you. And if one of them shows up, they all tend to kind of show up. Now, if you really like trading really high probability strategies because of your style and your risk tolerance and risk aversion, whatever else, that's totally fine. Like go for it. But I would just encourage you, maybe instead of doing 3 delta, 4 delta, 5 delta, whatever, maybe that you've done before in the past, just consider ramping them up a little bit. Consider 10 delta, consider 15 delta, consider 20 delta. You're still going to be 80% pops or higher on those strategies, and you're going to collect a little bit more credit, maybe significantly more credit, to help you absorb against the inevitable moves against you that are going to happen. And you mitigate some of those hidden factors that can get pretty nasty with those single-digit deltas. So we'll see you guys next time.